Hello, welcome to Sunny's Yoga. I'm Sunny. Join me on this wonderful stress reducing, tension reducing vinyasa. Start in a cross leg position, hands gently on top of the knees. Breathe. Join me at the back of the mat as we go into kneeling. Tuck your toes under. Walk back and bring your knees up off the mat. Drop your head. Knees stay together. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Knees come down, come up into full kneeling. Roll your shoulders back, hands on legs. Breathe. Come forward again, toes tucked under. Bring your knees up. Bring your knees up a little higher. Breathe. Make sure all 10 toes are down in that asana. Come back up into kneeling. Hands on either side of you. Relax your shoulders. Look past your drishti. Breathe in and out of your nose. Still sitting and kneeling. My feet are flat to the mat. Bring my arms up above my head. Twist your torso to one side. Front hand comes on one knee, back hand behind you. Look towards the back of the mat at the back of the room and breathe. Hands come back up. Look up and twist towards the other side. Remember, this is at the torso. Breathe. Hand behind you, hand in front. Those are light touches on the mat and on your knee. Hand comes up. Come down into cactus. Great for your front of your chest and your shoulders. Hands come back up overhead. Bring them back down into cactus. I'm looking just past my drishti as I do this. Hands come back up over my head. Arms come in front of me, ball my hands into a fist, and I start rotating out my wrist slowly. The focus is my wrist and my wrist only. I'm going to turn to the side, still sitting and kneeling. Then we're going to change. Hands go back, come flat out in front of me, and I'm going to keep my fingers extended as I rotate my wrist and open up my hands. Great for my fingers. Come down into tabletop and gently bring my hips forward and back. These are small movements, but they definitely help open your wrist. Feet are flat to the mat. Now I'm going to turn my wrist facing down, palms facing up, and I'm going to give my wrist a good stretch here. Rest of my body is in tabletop position. Head is dropped and breathe. You can rock a little back and forth if you'd like. Hands come back around. Come back up into kneeling. Roll your shoulders back. Feet come from underneath you and face the front. Moving into Tandasana. Hands beside you. We're going to point and flex our feet. Point, breathe, and flex. Make sure your toes are fully engaged in all of this. Hands come up over your head. We're going to lift out of our hips and bend towards our toes. Let your head drop. Breathe. You may not be able to get to your toes. You maybe get to your shins, or you stay in Tandasana, or they're at your thighs, and that's okay. It's a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect, and we keep going with our flow. Breathe. Extending up and out, coming back up, hands overhead. Hands come beside me, facing the front. I'm going to come back around into kneeling. Hands come behind me a little bit, and I start leaning back, lifting my knees off of the mat, dropping my head to look up towards the sky. and breathe. It's great opening through your chest, through your upper legs, your knees, your toes. Everything is getting a nice, just reverse extension. Coming down into tabletop, moving towards the middle of the mat, dropping down into puppy. Forehead kisses the mat, hands go to the corners of the mat, and I'm going to lift up on my fingertips. Breathe. You're going to feel this all up and down your arms and through your shoulders. Deep breaths in and out. Deep breaths in and out. Slowly come up. We're going to move down into Sphinx pose. Legs stay active. Bring your chest through your arms. Look down past your drishti. Breathe. Head comes down on top of my hands. And take a pause here. Legs still stay active. I'm going to come back up into Sphinx pose. Breathe, looking past my drishti. Come back down, rest my forehead on top of my hands. Start to come up into tabletop, but I'm going to rotate my hips into slow, wide circles. The focus is my hips. Relieving tension and stress, taking a pause here to stretch fully out, legs stay active, then we move in the opposite direction. Focused again on my hips. Again, stretching out right here. Arms are straight, hips are dropped. We'll slowly bring them back, moving back into tabletop. Taking a breath, I'm going to kick my foot up and out, flex my toes, and point. Flex and point. Rotate them out. Rotate them out. The weight is even on my hands, so I could focus only on my foot. Bring my foot forward. Drop my hips. I'm dropping the hips. As I drop my hips, I want to make sure they stay even. My back foot is flat down to the mat. Looking past my drishti, then move back into half split Hamanasana prep. Hands come back a little bit. Then I move back into the deep hip stretch. Back into Hamanasana prep. Come forward. I'm going to lift my back leg and I'm moving into lizard. Both my hands are now inside of my leg and I'm looking past my drishti. Back leg, toes are tucked under, my knee is straight. Slowly come down. Bring that first foot around. I'm going to bring around my left and drop those hips. My hands are framing my front foot, going back into Hamanasana prep. Flex your toes, drop your head. Come forward, dropping my hips. Back into Hamanasana prep. It's great for the back of your legs. It wakes up your legs. Coming back around, going into lizard. Again, both my hands are inside of my foot. Back leg is up and straight and I'm on my toes. Wide-legged stance. Wide-legged lower lunge looks like only I'm down on my hands. Knees comes down. Moving through tabletop. Going into cat and cow. Exaggerate these. Move slowly. Open up your back. Open up your shoulders. Open up your chest. Breathing in and out of your nose as you go with the flow. Tabletop to neutral position. Whoop. Want to go ahead and open up my calf. So with my right hand, I'm reaching for my left foot and bringing it up in the air, making sure that my weight stays level on my hand and my back foot. Release slowly, bring your leg down. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Grab my foot, bring it up. This is great for the front of your chest and for balance. Breathe. Let your foot slowly come down. Coming back into kneeling. Only this I'm going to bring my knees fully to my chest to my knees, in order to bend my head down. Let it drop. Hands help to keep me steady. Slowly roll yourself up into mountain. Bring your legs out, arms out beside you, and stretch your arms to each side of the room, and then bring your arm up. One arm lightly down, look straight up, flow back up. Other arm straight up, breathe in, breathe out, and flow again, straight out. One arm up, we're going to bend a little bit. Use your hips to bend outward. Flow back up straight, arms extended, and flow to the other side. Breathe. Come back up, arms extended, arms come down. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. We're going to bring our arms up. We're going to do eagle arms. Wrap your arms around, hands around. Breathe. And slowly bring your hips forward and bend forward down. Keep your arms in eagle arms. Breathe. Notice how my body is going towards the front. My tailbone is going towards the front and not towards the back of the room. You want your legs to be straight. Slowly roll yourself up. Untwist your arms. Breathe. Arms come back up and twist in the opposite direction. As you do that, gently come forward. When you come forward, it's as if you're reaching from your hips and coming down. Breathe. I have lifted my toes and put them down to help stretch those out too. Slowly roll back up, unroll your arms. Feet come together, unroll the shoulders. Forward and backward. Slowly come back down to the mat. Crisscross. One foot in front, one foot bended in towards your body. Flex your toes, turn your torso to your extended leg, and reach out your hips and come down. Your bended knee, you want to make sure it's down towards the mat. If not, put a block underneath that knee to protect it. If your knee cannot be as bended as far up, please move your knee down. We're now going to turn towards the other side and give a counter stretch. Breathe. Switch legs. However you do the position on the other side, do it on this side. Reach up and out. Touch your toes if you can. Drop your head and breathe. Both of my feet are active, which means my toes are flexed in this position. Come back up, and we're going to do the counter twist. Hand goes behind you, hand goes on your knee, and breathe. Look back behind you. Use your drishti to keep you focused. Come back around into butterfly. Now I'm going to turn kind of diagonally so you can see me a little bit better. I'm going to bring my knees in, not as close. And I'm just going to have my hands around my ankles gently. Let gravity do its work with my knees, and sit still, breathing in and out. My tailbone is tucked to reduce any stress on my back. Now I'm going to bring my hands underneath of my legs, keep my feet together, bend forward, let my head drop, breathe. It's great for your arms. It gives a different type of sensation of opening up your upper back, and it does keep stress off of your lower back. Slowly bring my hands back up. I'm going to bring my feet closer to me, cup my feet with my hands, and breathe. Let gravity do its work with my knees. Again, you can use blocks or books on either side of your knees if more comfortable. Don't strain, don't stress. Let gravity do all the work. Slowly bringing my legs together, bringing them back behind me. Kick my foot out, and I'm going to flex and point and rotate my foot. All of my weight is even and I'm steady, and I want to focus on that foot. I'm going to bring it around into pigeon. You can put your foot at a 45-degree angle if that is better for you. You can put a book or a bolster or a block underneath your hip. I'm going to go ahead and extend, lean forward, and down on my hands, letting gravity do its work. My bended leg, my foot is active, and my back leg is flush to the mat. Breathe. These are deep hip openers, but they will feel wonderful when you're done. Bring yourself up, hands on either side of your foot and your leg. Go ahead and bring your knee back around. We'll do the same thing to the other side. Kick your foot out, stretch, rotate straight through the feet. Don't leave them out. Your toes, leave your toes in this equation. You need to stretch out your toes. Gonna bring my foot around and my leg around, 45-degree angle, and drop my hips. Hands go on either side of me. Back foot is flat to the mat, as is the knee. Take a breath. Slowly coming down onto my hands. My head is resting on my hands. Breathe. I get a lot of tension in my hips, and this is great to relieve that type of tension, especially if you sit all day. Come back up on your hands, which are from your foot and your ankle. Bring that knee to meet the back knee. Crisscross coming down into your sits bones. Going towards the front of the mat, roll down, bring your knees with you. Bring your knees into your chest. Tuck your chin, elongate your neck, and you can rock back and forth. Legs come straight up to the sky and flex and point your toes and your feet and your ankles. Roll them out. Right knee comes in towards your body, but keep your left foot active and leveling off the ground. You're off of the mat, not touching the mat. Breathe as you do this. Now we're going to switch. Slowly point out, and both of my feet, they're very active and they're flexed in this asana. This feels great actually to your overall legs. Feet come together, going towards your chest, come straight back up. Flex and point your toes and rotate your ankles. Bring your straight legs closer to your upper body, but keep your lower body as flat as you can. Breathe. Gently, hands go above your head. Let your feet hover, and then bring your legs straight out. Hover and bring your knees back in. This is intentionally a slow moving asana. Your feet stay active the entire time. Your toes stay active. Coming into boat. This is full boat. Bring my legs in. Come down from boat. Flex my feet. This is sitting down pigeon, four-legged pose. Foot crosses over your ankle, flex your toe, and reach in between your legs. Pull your leg towards your body. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Feet come down and reverse. Seated pigeon. This is a different sensation than the pigeon being on the floor and equally as worth it. Again, your neck is your chin is going towards your chest, so you extend through your neck so you're not crunching your neck. Untwist and feet come down, palms beside you. Take a breath. Knees still stay bent. No tension. Slowly bring up your knees again, moving into happy baby. Hands go in between your legs and then moving to the outer edge, grabbing the outer edge of your feet. You can go back and forth, slowly massaging out your lower back. Knees are going towards your body. Head stays flat to the mat. Now I'm going to take my peace fingers, wrap around my big toes, and do a V. And I'm also going to rock back and forth and then come to stillness. I'm going to stretch out to a wide leg V, still holding onto my big toes. Rock back and forth. This is great for the lower back. Bring them back together. Point and flex my toes one more time. Feels great. Come up. Move to the center of the mat. Crisscross. Bring my arms up. And I'm going to extend, bending over my crossed legs. Yes. Hands reach towards each corner of the mat and head bows. Relax your back. Let it be round. This really is great for your hips. You'll feel it more on the hip that is crossed over on top. So we're going to switch so we get balance. Arms up and stretching out the hips, going back down. Breathe. Slowly rise back up. I'm going to windshield wiper my legs back and forth. We've done a lot with the hips and the legs. Let's give them a nice little relaxation, little relief from being opened. Slowly rolling down, moving into Shavasana. Let your feet be open like a book. Gently tuck your shoulders underneath you a little bit. Hands come wide open, palms up. Chin tucks, your neck is flush to the mat. And you're breathing. You can close your eyes. Relax from all of the stress and tension that you had prior to this practice. You should notice a difference in your body and how it feels at this moment. Turn to your side, come up, back into seated, crisscross position, hands on your knees, hands to the center of your chest. And I thank you for joining Sunny's Yoga.